You are not given a name when you arrive. Just a place to stand and instructions to wait. The room smells like bleach and metal. A fan hums somewhere above you, uneven, clicking every few rotations. The walls are bare concrete, cold even through your clothes. No one explains anything. You learn quickly that asking questions slows things down, and slowing things down gets noticed. Debt brought you here. Numbers written somewhere you never saw, growing without your input. Someone else settled it on your behalf. That is what they tell you. Now you are here to balance it. The first man who speaks to you doesn't introduce himself. He looks at you for a long time like he's measuring something internal. Then he nods once. That's enough. You stay. The first time you see it happen, you understand the rules without needing them explained. You are standing behind a chair, your hands unsure of where to rest. The man in the chair is already bleeding, already shaking. Someone else is asking questions in a calm, steady voice. You are told to hold his jaw shut between answers. Keep him from biting his tongue. Keep him conscious. Your grip tightens as he struggles. His breath is hot against your palm. He stops answering before the questions are finished. The room doesn't react. The questions stop. Someone sighs, not out of emotion, just inconvenience. You let go when told. Your hands smell like iron for hours after. You don't leave. That is the first decision you make, even if it doesn't feel like one. Loyalty isn't something you believe in yet. It's something you perform. Fear fills the gaps. It keeps your movements precise, your voice minimal. It makes you useful. Your work begins after dark. You sleep late, wake to silence, eat whatever is left for you. Food is not shared, just taken in turns. No one sits together. By 2000 hours you are moving. Cars without plates, routes that change every night. You are taught where to stand, when to speak, when to stay completely still. Most of the time you say nothing. You collect first. Small amounts at first. Envelopes, cash folded twice, handed over without eye contact. You learn to count quickly without making it obvious. You learn to notice hesitation. A delay of even 2 seconds means something. You report it. You always report it. Then you enforce. A missed payment. A wrong tone. A message that needs to be delivered without words. You don't decide what happens. You just carry it out. The first time your hands shake. By the 5th they don't. By the 10th you are faster than the person next to you. Efficiency is noticed. Not praised, just noted. That matters more. Years pass without markers. You measure time in jobs. In nights. In the number of people who stop making eye contact when you enter a room. You move up without ceremony. One day you are told to lead instead of follow. That's it. No acknowledgement. Just more responsibility. The language shifts as you rise. Orders become suggestions that aren't optional. Handle it. Take care of it. Make sure it doesn't happen again. You learn what each phrase really means by watching what happens when it's misunderstood. There are rules, but they are never written down. You learn them by surviving. Never take more than you're told, but never bring back less. Never speak a name unless it's already been spoken. Never ask where something comes from or where it goes. The fewer details you know, the longer you last. Money moves constantly. You see numbers now. Weekly totals. Monthly deficits. Loss margins calculated down to exact amounts. A missing sum of 50,000 is treated the same as 500,000. It's not the amount. It's the break in the system. Breaks spread. They have to be sealed quickly. You learn to adjust reports. Not lies. Never lies. Just framing. Timing. You delay certain information until it becomes less important. You present outcomes instead of processes. Creative compliance. It keeps you in place. It keeps attention moving elsewhere. Your life outside narrows without you noticing. Calls go unanswered. Then they stop coming. People you used to know become risks you can't afford. You tell yourself you're protecting them. The truth is simpler. There's no space left for them. You sleep less now. Not because you can't, but because there's always something pending. A message waiting. A problem forming. You start waking before your phone vibrates. Your body learns the pattern before your mind does. The crisis comes quietly. A payment doesn't arrive. Not delayed. Missing. The number is specific. 120,000. It should have been delivered at 23:10. It wasn't. You confirm twice. Then a third time. The answer doesn't change. Your boss doesn't raise his voice when you tell him. He just looks at you. A long, steady look that doesn't shift. He asks one question. Why? You don't have an answer. That's the problem. Mistakes are not accepted because they suggest weakness. Weakness suggests vulnerability. Vulnerability spreads. You are told to find it. Not who took it. Not where it went. Find the break. You start with the obvious. Routes, drivers, collections. You trace the movement backward step by step. Every hand it passed through. Every delay. Every deviation measured in minutes. Something doesn't align. It's small. A gap of 9 minutes where there should be none. You follow it. The name you find is one you recognize. Not closely. Not personally. But enough. You've seen him before. Shared a room. Exchanged a nod. He was lower than you then. Not by much. Just enough to matter. You report it. There's a pause. Then the instruction comes. Make an example. No elaboration. None needed. You find him where he always is. Routine doesn't change at his level. That's part of the problem. He looks at you and understands immediately. Not the details, just the outcome. His shoulders drop slightly. Acceptance comes faster than denial here. You bring him in. Same room. Same smell of bleach and metal. The fan still clicks every few rotations. Nothing changes. That's how the system stays stable. You're the one asking questions now. Your voice is steady. You don't raise it. You repeat the same lines you heard years ago. You already know the answers. That's not the point. Someone else stands behind him. Hands on his jaw. Holding it shut between answers. Keeping him conscious. Keeping the process moving. He stops answering before you're finished. There's a moment where everything aligns. The room, the smell, the posture, the silence after. You see it clearly. Not as an event but as a pattern. You were him. Not exactly but close enough. Someone stood where you stand now. Someone gave the same instructions. The hierarchy doesn't rise. It narrows. Each level removes space until there's only one direction left. Up means fewer people, fewer buffers, fewer places to deflect what comes down. You finish the process. Not because you want to. Because it has to be finished. Incomplete work creates attention. Attention creates risk. Afterward, the report is simple. Issue identified. Example made. System stabilized. The missing amount is noted as recovered through correction. No further action required. You are acknowledged. Not praised. Just noted again. That's enough to move you higher. Time passes. It always does. You take on more. Fewer people above you now. Their instructions are shorter. Less frequent. The gaps between them grow but the weight increases. You fill in what isn't said. That's expected at your level. You start to see how little control anyone actually has. Decisions come from above, but they are shaped by pressure from somewhere higher still. You never see the top. You only feel the direction. Downward. Always downward. One day you realize there's no one left between you and that pressure. Not really. The buffer is gone. The hierarchy has narrowed to a point. It reaches you. You leave without announcement. There's no ceremony for it. Just a gradual reduction. Fewer calls. Fewer assignments. Then none. Your number is still known, but it isn't used. You step out into a life that feels unstructured. Days without purpose. Nights without movement. The silence is heavier than the noise ever was. Your hands still remember. The grip. The pressure. The exact weight of compliance and resistance. It doesn't fade. It just sits there, constant. Somewhere else, someone stands in that same room. The fan still clicks. The walls are still cold. A new man holds another's jaw shut while questions are asked in a steady voice. He stops answering before they're done. The report is written. The system adjusts. Nothing slows. Nothing breaks for long. It continues, narrowing again, moving toward someone who doesn't yet understand where they stand.